If you want to put your own custom designs on tumblers and drinkware of all shapes and sizes, I have a machine you're going to want to hear about. This is a brand new tumbler press that can do everything from small glass cups to the big tapered 40-ounce tumblers. Let's take a look at this brand new heat press, see what it can do. Hey there, I'm Sarah. You're watching Creative Ramblings. We've got a brand new machine to talk about today. So if you want to put your art, designs, graphics on drinkware, you're going to want to see this video. This is the brand new A200 tumbler press from HTVRONT. So in this video, we're going to talk about what comes with this machine, what it can do, and what sets this apart from some other tumbler presses on the market. I'm also going to take a minute to compare it to the original tumbler press from HTVRONT, which I also have and love. And then we're going to make a couple projects and help you figure out if this machine might be right for you. So real briefly, let's talk about what a tumbler press is and how this works. Not only this one, but any tumbler press on the market. So this is a machine used with sublimation. So you create your own graphic or artwork or company logo and you print it out on special paper using a sublimation printer. Sublimation prints can then be transferred to a tumbler like this. This has a special sublimation coating on it, or an ornament, a mouse pad, a keychain, a polyester t-shirt, a ton of options for pressing. When you're pressing a flat item, you can use a flat heat press. But when you're pressing a design around something like this, that's a cylinder, you need a press that can press the entire thing all the way around at once. So that's where a tumbler press comes in handy. So you're going to need that sublimation printer. You're going to need to know a little bit of something about sublimation before you dive into this. Lucky for you, I have a ton of videos on that. I'll link the playlist down in the description if you want to get started. Let's talk about this tumbler press kit because it has a lot of different moving parts to it, literally. So this is the tumbler press. It is this press that you see on the box right here, and it comes with a couple of silicone pressing mats that you wrap around your tumbler before you put it in. It also comes with a pair of heat-proof gloves and some heat-proof tape. This press, as it comes in this box, is a basic kit. What's neat about this press is that it has these interchangeable heat plates. So the one that comes with this is going to press your straight-sided tumblers from like 11 to 30 ounces. If you want to do those tapered 40-ounce tumblers, the ones with a handle, you're going to need to add on this heat plate. And I'm going to show you in a minute how to kind of switch those out. But this heat plate just switches out in a couple of seconds with the one here, and it is tapered. It comes with a special tapered mat that you can then put that whole 40-ounce tumbler in and press the entire thing at once. So you're not having to do the top first and then the bottom. So this kit is what you want. And if you go to HTVRONT's website, you're going to see a number of different kits. But if you want to do all the sizes, you want the basic plus the tumbler heat plate with it. This heat plate actually comes with a 40-ounce tumbler in it, so you can get going right away. You can make your first design without having to buy anything else. If you need anything extra, of course, HTVRONT sells blanks as well. So this is what you're going to get out of those boxes. So we've got our heat-proof tape and our heat-proof gloves. You've got your heat press and you've got your extra heat plate. And then you've got these silicone mats. These flat ones, there's a 4mm and a 2mm, kind of wrap around your tumbler that you're doing. And then we have a tapered looking one that wraps around those tapered tumblers. And you're going to get a manual. There's also a QR code you can scan so you can pull it up on your phone. There are some great settings out there that tell you what mat to use and what heat plate to use. But if you need to switch between them, it's super easy. We just pull it out. This is actually the larger 40-ounce tapered one. And then we put the new one in. It just lines up on these rails, pops back in till you hear a click and you're ready to go. So between these two, we can do anywhere from that 11 to 40 ounce tumblers. So we're gonna start with what's in here. This is the straight-sided heat plate, and we're gonna sublimate a 20-ounce tumbler. So I have already printed out a design. I use Canva to kind of create my designs and then print them off on my Epson EcoTake printer that I have converted to a sublimation printer. Again, I have lots of sublimation videos if you are new to this, so you can check out that playlist down in the description. So I have my image printed. It is cut down to size. Let's get it put on this cup. So there's really easy to use buttons on here. We're just gonna turn this on. I have the ability to set the temperature, the time, and the pressure. So I'm gonna set my temperature to 390, which it's already at because that's where I was before. My time is set for 220 seconds. And then my pressure is set at 120 pounds. Now again, HTVRONT does provide the settings for these, so it's really easy to do. You can program this for it to remember your settings. So if you know exactly what you need for this kind of tumbler, you can program that right in and make it easy. So we're gonna let this heat up. Just a reminder, I have the straight-sided heat plate in here. If you ever wanna switch these out, the machine needs to be completely cool before you do that. So make sure the right plate is in before it starts heating up. So I'm gonna wait till that button turns green. So now we can prep our cup. First thing I wanna do is clean it off really well with some rubbing alcohol, just to make sure there's no grease from my hands or any dust or anything like that left on it. I like to use a cup cradle for this next part. It allows me to just place my item on there and put the design over the top. My printed design is some pastel pumpkins. And again, all cut down to size and ready to go. Couple tips for sublimating. Make sure you pull really, really tight. Use lots of tape to hold this all down. That's gonna help get a really good transfer of color. So we're just gonna tape this in place. Tumbler is all taped and ready to go. And we are green, so we're ready to put this in. So I'm going to put on my gloves first. And then take the tumbler mat. We've got the 4mm one here that was recommended. Wrap it up and stick it in the slot. Push the button, automatically closes, and we just let it count down from there. So I want to be ready to take this out when it's done. So I like to put a heat-proof mat down so it doesn't damage my table. Still got my gloves on, and then I have a little tweezer to help pull that paper off because we're going to pull it off right away while it's still warm. This one turned out great. We've got some really vibrant colors on here. Still a little warm, so we're gonna let that one cool down. Now, as I mentioned earlier, we have to let this completely cool down before we pull out that heat plate. So while this is cooling down, let's prep a 40-ounce tumbler. This 40-ounce has a handle, and we can press it, but we have to remove the handle. So there's screws on the bottom that I can just pop off, and the handle will pull off. There are going to be 2 little metal pieces left here. So when we wrap, we just want to wrap right up to there, and then we're going to put it in the press this way so these face upward. And then from here, it's the same process. I've got my cup cradle and I'm gonna wrap my design around it, tape it really well. I've got 2 images, kind of the same thing. This one's gonna wrap on the top, this one's gonna wrap on the bottom. There are ways that you can sublimate this little tapered piece in between. There are some really good templates out there. I'm gonna link one down below from Creative Fabrica. I find that I don't like how it doesn't quite line up all the way, and I tend to get a little bit of blurring on the curves. So I really like doing designs where it's just the top and the bottom. So I'm gonna get this all taped on. So we've cooled down enough to touch this, and the machine is unplugged. I can just pull this out and then pop this one in. And these tracks just open up a little bit and line up with the tracks on the inside. And now we can heat this back up to the right parameters for a 40-ounce tumbler. The heat plate inside of here is tapered. So the smaller end is on this side, the bigger end is on this side. So we're gonna put our tumbler in this way. And these little metal pieces need to go straight up. And we're gonna use this. This is the pressing mat, but it is a tapered pressing mat. And this fits perfectly right around here. Let's take a minute to compare the two auto tumbler presses made by HTVRONT. This is the one we've been using to make a couple of projects. This is their original model. So they look very similar. They're both automatic presses, meaning you set the time and temperature, hit start, and they do their thing. The newest one has a pressure control where the original one does not. The biggest difference is in what they can press. The original can do 10 to 30 ounce straight-sided drinkware. It can also do a mug, so you can slide a mug, like a ceramic mug with a handle in here. It will close and leave space for that mug. On this one here, you cannot do anything with a handle that stays attached. We did that 40-ounce tumbler, but you had to take the handle off because it closes completely on the top. This one can go from 11 ounces to 40 ounces. And with the interchangeable heat plates, you can go from straight-sided to that tapered 40-ounce, very popular tumbler. If you are doing a lot of drinkware with and without handles, I'd actually recommend getting both of these. I do a lot of mugs. I love doing mugs, and I need to have a tumbler press like this to create those mugs. But I also like the versatility of the A200 where you can do that tapered 40-ounce tumbler. This original one is really, really budget friendly, so it's not too much to add this on to your A200 purchase. And there are always deals with HTVRONT, so you could probably get a really good deal on putting them together. This A200 tumbler heat press is really versatile. We can do everything from smaller straight-sided tumblers to the tapered 40-ounce tumblers. It comes with those interchangeable heat plates, adjustable pressure, silicone mats. So not only can we do all kinds of different sizes, but we're getting really good, vibrant color, very consistent all the way around on every press. So who is this machine for? I think at the price point, this is ideal for crafters and small business owners. Those people who are making mugs for seasons, different festivities, who want to give a few gifts to friends and family. This is a great investment. You can also scale up with this, and you could turn this into a business and use this press to go to markets, to go to craft fairs and sell your drinkware. HTVRONT makes really high quality products at a great price. So I am going to link this down below, and I do have a discount code down there, and I will have the most up-to-date deals in the description. So be sure to take a look at that link. As I mentioned before, there are a number of different kits you can get. You can get the basic kit, but it only comes with that straight-sided heat plate. So make sure you get the bundle that includes the 40-ounce tumbler heat plate so you can do these large tapered ones. And when you buy a bundle, you're always going to get some extra stuff thrown in there, like some blanks or some sublimation paper. So take a look at all the different bundles involved. If you have any more questions on this machine, definitely drop them in the comments. I would love to chat with you. If you liked this video, if you found it helpful, give me a thumbs up and consider subscribing. I'm here every week with new videos helping you move forward in your creative journey. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next time.